Okay, video number 2 for Friday, October 20th. In our last video, we left off with this last slide on the design element repetition. And so for your activity today, I'm going to ask that you construct 3 of these repetition documents and follow the design of each one. Okay, so I'm going to quickly do that. So if you would follow along, we'll get started. Okay, first thing I'd like you to do is create a new folder. My desktop's a little bit messy right now, but I know where my things are. This is the alignment from yesterday, and for today, repetition. Okay, so I'm going to look inside my repetition folder, and I've got an Andy Warhol Campbell soup can. All right, and that's what I'm going to use for my design element. For you guys today, I do not want you to repeat the images that you used for alignment on Wednesday. I'd like you to find something new. So go find something cool and work with that today. Okay, so I'm going over to InDesign, and again, the InDesign that I'm working with is a CS5, so this is an earlier edition because I don't have my normal laptop with me today, but the basics of the interface are the same. So we're going to go ahead and create a new document. So here we go. You guys are going to get an initial box. It looks something like this. The one thing, just like before, that you want to check for is orientation. So instead of going for portrait, we're going to go for landscapes. Go ahead and click that and open up your new document. Alright, there's my new document. I'm going to go back and forth between this new document and what I'm aiming for. So I'm going to do this first one first. So let's come back here, and I'm going to type out repetition. So I'll just, actually, you know what I'm going to do this time? I'm going to stretch this box the entire length of my document from margin to margin. The reason I'm going to do that is because I want to put, and I want like you to do that, we're going to center repetition. We're going to do center alignment for the title there. So in past years, kids tend to spell this word incorrectly. Don't be that kid. Whoops, what am I doing here? I gotta move this. All right. So let's go to 72. I'm gonna go a little bit bigger than that. I'm gonna go to 140. Notice how I just typed that in there. That looks pretty good. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna center align it. Now your interface looks a little bit different, but you're going to need to look for this justification tool, this alignment tool. Get that right in the center there. And I'm on my move tool here. I'm going to use the arrows on my keyboard to move it up. It's not moving very quickly, so I'm going to hold shift down, move that right up, bring it back down. There we go. All right. And again, I am aiming for this. So it's going to be a little bit challenging for me. We'll see how this goes. So I'm going to go Command D to place my Andy Warhol soup can. It's in my repetition folder. There we go. There it is, Campbell soup. And how many am I going to put down here? I'm going to put down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of those. Command D. There we go. Command D. I'm going to show you a shortcut now. Check this out. Put this down. Alright, I said I need 6. I'm going to select these 3. Command C for copy. Command V for paste. Look at that. Alright. And then I'm going to select all of them at once, shrink together. And as I shrink, I'm going to hold 2 very important keys down. That's Command and Shift. I'm going to pull in a corner. So when you do this, remember, Command and Shift. Bring it in this way, because one of the things I noticed, so I'm holding the Shift key down using the arrows on my keyboard. One of the things I noticed on here is that the beginning and end bunny. We don't see the entirety of it, so we're going to make sure we have that here. Okay, so it's going to cut off. And then look what I'm going to do. I'm just going to, without holding any additional keys down, I'm just going to pull the side in and have it stop. So notice how it cuts off the can there. And that's what we're trying to repeat for these left and right elements of the 6. All right, so I'd like you to do something like that. Here's my great challenge right now. I need to figure out how to, how to change the color of my soup can. Now we're in InDesign right now, not Photoshop, so I'm really not in a position to do that. What I can do though is I can go into Photoshop, change some of these elements, and then bring that back. I'm not going to do that for this particular exercise, but I'm going to ask that you do it. Okay? All right. So let's all imagine that I've changed one of these design elements to a different color so that it stands out. And again, it's very similar to our photo compositional element with repetition of shapes. We have repetition of shapes here. And remember, the most interesting area of repetition of shapes is that one element that breaks the repetition. And so the way that we're going to break it on this first assignment is we're going to break it by changing the color. And so when your viewer looks at this document, that's where their eye is going to go first. Because right now, if we were just to complete the assignment this way, we would just sort of ask ourselves, which of those cans do I look at? Change the color, our eye will be directed immediately there. Okay, so I've just completed the first one, imagining that I've changed this, and I would like you guys to do that. So be sure to do that. We're going to do the second one, and I'm going to do this quickly. I'm going to use the same document after I save this. I'm going to go File, Save As. I'm going to put it in my repetition folder. Where are you? Oh, I'm in the wrong element there. There it is. There we go. Call this repetition 1. Alright, save. Now I'm going to title it File, Save As, Repetition 2. Now I've got 2 of those folders and I'm free to change this. So I'm going to come back, take a look at this original here. Actually, I'm going to do this one first. Alright, so let's pull that over. Shrink that just a little bit. So I'm holding the Command Shift key down. And I'm just simply going to restack these cans. I want to get that perfect, so I'm just going to repeat these 2 guys. Command C, Command V. Zoom out, Command minus. Let's do this. Space, we're going to fit those 2 guys right in there. Ooh. Okay. Let's take a look at what I'm aiming for. 4 on the side. Alright. So, let's resize that. Try to get that spacing. I'm just going to eyeball the spacing here. Okay, it's a little bit wider, so I'm going to bring it in. Alright, I'm just going to shrink those 4 together. Notice how I've selected this one. If I hold the Shift key down and click it again, it deselects. So holding Command and Shift together, pull up my corner, pull down my corners, and then I don't need all of these guys. Taking a look one more time, and we're just going to put this one in the bottom right. Okay. Take a look at what that's going to look like. We'll bring this over just a little. I'm going to align this. Okay, there's my repetition 2. So I'm going to go ahead and file save, because I've already saved it as repetition 2. So now I'm going to save it as repetition 3. And then I will be in a position to do that third one. And you know what? I don't think I need to do the entirety of this third one. There's just one thing that I need to show you. And that is how to reverse this image. Okay, so what I could do is I could take the time to arrange my soup cans in this sort of oval fashion, and then the one repeating element, or that breaks the repeating elements here, is we've reversed the money, and it's a little bit larger than the rest of them. So let's do that without me completing the entirety of this exercise. Well, as you can see, this soup can actually is bigger than the other ones. I'm just going to extend the size, maybe just a little bit more. I'm going to reverse the shape here. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm just going to grab on this side. I'm just going to pull to the other side. See how that works? Everything's written backwards now. You can do that with any image. Okay? So for your third repetition design assignment, that's what I'd like you to do. And go ahead and create that oval just like it looks like here. By the end of today's class, you should have 3 of these done. All right? If you finish early, what I would like you to do is open up a repetition 4 and then just go ahead and play around with the elements. All right? Notice that you can do a whole variety of things here, and I'd like you to experiment with the software. We'll compare our notes when we see one another again on Tuesday of next week. Alrighty? It's Mr. McCarthy signing off. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Look forward to seeing you on Tuesday.